The founders didn't care about the current political situation. They didn't care about what was going on or not going on currently. In their wisdom, they said, security of a free state, that a militia is necessary for the security of a free state. And along with that came all of the training in small infantry tactics and all of the military capacity. What did the founding father, I've got the quote right here, last thing I want to tell you guys before I take questions. Founding father, Chench Cox, in 1788 said this: "The powers of the sword are in the hands of the yeomanry of America," that's the farmers, "from 16 to 60. The militia of these free commonwealths, entitled and accustomed to their arms, when compared with any possible army, must be tremendous and irresistible. Who are the militia? Are they not ourselves? Is it feared then we shall turn our arms, each man, against his own bosom? Congress have no power to disarm the militia. Their swords and every other terrible implement of the soldier are the birthright of an American. The unlimited power of the sword is not in the hands of either the federal or state governments, but, where I trust in God, it will ever remain in the hands of the people." And he wrote that in the Pennsylvania Gazette, February 20th, 1788, during the debate on the new Constitution. He was a Federalist. He supported the new Constitution. And in response to the critics like Patrick Henry, who said, "I smell a rat," he said, "Look, you're safe. Don't worry. Congress can never disarm the American people." But now look what we see happening. But as he pointed out, every terrible implement of the soldier is your birthright. You should have select fire weapons in your house, just like the Swiss militia does over there. They got select fire, what's the name of their rifle over there? The 550, which is the same thing as my wife's 5.56, but it's select fire. They keep them in their homes. Once again, the sky doesn't fall. It's not mass mayhem and killing in Switzerland. And what did Hitler think about Switzerland? Did he decide to invade Switzerland? There were Jews there he wanted to kill. It wasn't worth it. The terrain was pretty hostile, which is why I'm in Montana. Montana's kind of like American Switzerland. But it was also because the Swiss were a people, a militia of the people. He could not just go and kill a few military officers or crush a professional small military force and that'd be the end of it. He had to deal with a guerrilla warfare against the Swiss, who were marksmen, riflemen. Americans are supposed to be the same. So let's take our responsibilities in hand. Let's embrace our duties, and let's get it done. Let's get back where we're supposed to be. And do not apologize for it. Defend it. So, one last, of course, big element is the military. We are doing a billboard campaign right now to put billboards outside of every major base in America. We currently have $48,000 in our billboard campaign. We're going to spend it. We had a donor that donated, one woman donated $30,000 to this campaign. We had $18,000 and she ponied up an extra $30,000. God bless. So they're going to say, like, one of the first ones is going to be Camp Lejeune. It's going to be the Iwo Jima flag raising. And it's going to say, "They honored their oath, honor yours, refuse to disarm Americans," which is our order number 1 in our 10 orders that we will not obey. We will not obey orders to disarm Americans. So that's the message we take to the troops, because in the end, that's the most critical audience. As we saw in history, including as recently as 1989 East Germany, when the East German Communist Party ordered the East German military to go crush the peaceful protests that were demanding that the wall come down, that the Iron Curtain come down. The Eastern military refused and stood down. They stayed on base, and without their support, 3 days later the wall came down. Because without the support of the military, the East German Communist Party could do nothing. The Stasi secret police could do nothing. They were powerless against the people without the backup of the military. All those years, the Stasi secret police had terrorized the East German people. They were really a paper tiger. All that was really supporting them was the military. Once that support was gone, they were nothing. So that's my goal, is that even if you have a treasonous, oath-breaking federal government, which you do, all three branches now, even if they go for broke and try to disarm you and try to suspend the Constitution, third martial law, or whatever, if the U.S. military stands down and refuses to enforce their edicts, no matter how bloodthirsty they are, they cannot do it without them. DHS, I give them 2 friggin' weeks. If you stack up DHS and any other potential oath breakers in federal service against the American gun owners and veterans, 2 weeks tops, they're done without support of the military. We need a break, Chris?
That's it, less.
Less than that? Probably less than that. Yes, ma'am?
They're not as readily.
Blue helmets are really easy to shoot at.
That would be, frankly, this gun grab as a gift, that'd be like the supreme gift of all time. Send UN or foreign forces into the United States. You want to tick off and piss off every American who still has any minutia of love of country? Send in guys from France or Belgium or China, please. Because all that'll do is just make them get off the fence and go like a friggin' firestorm and sweep them out. So, no, I'm not worried about that. I hope they do it. What finally compelled the majority of American patriots to abandon the idea of reconciliation and side with independence in 1776? What was it? They fought for a whole year, and there was still, a lot of them wanted to reconcile and stay within the empire. It was the use of the Hessian mercenaries that finally pushed them over the edge. Raping, and they did. They raped and pillaged and burned their way through New Jersey. That's what made a lot of Americans realize, like they said, the Declaration of Independence, you know, the king has abdicated the right to rule over us by making war against us, by setting us outside of his protection and waging war against us. And then listed there, he has sent among us these mercenaries to commit atrocities. I forgot the exact language, but atrocities scarcely paralleled in the history of mankind. Burning and raping and pillaging. That's what pushed them over the edge. The foreign troops, I hope they do it, frankly. So, we want to see that not have to happen in the first place. I'd like to see a renaissance, like a revival of devotion to the Constitution. If we have a revival among the people, including the civilians, veterans, gun owners, and in the military, if we, the people, have a revival of devotion to our Bill of Rights, then it doesn't make a difference how corrupt the politicians are. We can retain our liberties peacefully. Cuomo is not going to put on body armor and sling up an M4 and come kick down my door. Obama's not going to do that. Holder. All of these people, none of them are going to do that themselves. They can only do it by using us against ourselves. Who is the U.S. military? Who is in the infantry? Where do they come from? Where do they come from? Do they come from Harvard? Do they come from inner city metrosexuals? No, they're us. They're mostly from rural America, small town America, working class, blue collar guys. And most of them come from a family where their dad served, their uncle served, their granddad served, like mine, and like yours. That's where they come from. The only way they could ever get them to pull the trigger on you is if they dumb them down and trick and fool them into thinking that they're doing the right thing. Once you wake them up, that's it. Once you make them understand what's right and wrong, gone. The power elites have no control over them. That's why it's so critical that you reach out to them. National Guard, active duty, whatever branch they're in, reach out to them. One drop of truth is an antidote to a whole bucket of bull. Whatever they were taught in high school or not taught, whatever they're currently being brainwashed to believe, and it is happening. We've got the Center for Counterterrorism at West Point now demonizing us, demonizing patriotic Americans. It's basically the Southern Poverty Law Center transported to West Point. It's kind of perverse to see what's happening.